Your brain has a gland the size of a grain of rice, and yours is probably calcified right now. Not metaphorically, literally hardened, coated in calcium deposits from years of fluoride, artificial light, processed food, and a lifestyle that was never designed for you. And the terrifying part? You'd have no idea. Did you know that by age 30, up to 40% of the pineal gland's functional cells are already calcified in most adults in industrialized countries? 40% gone. And doctors don't screen for it. Nobody talks about it. But your sleep, your mood, your intuition, your hormonal cycles, they all run through this tiny gland. So here's the question nobody's asking. What if something as simple as a sound, a specific vibrating hum, could begin reversing that damage? And what is the one frequency that ancient monks, Tibetan healers, and now modern neuroscientists are all pointing to as the key to unlocking your pineal gland? Stick around through step 3, because what I'm about to share is something almost no mainstream health channel will touch. And once you try it, you'll understand why. Let's be real for a second. You've probably tried sleep supplements, melatonin, maybe magnesium. Maybe you've blue light blocked your whole life, and yet you still wake up groggy. You still feel like your intuition is offline. You still have that low-level brain fog that no amount of coffee fully clears. I've been there. Most people watching this have been there. Here's the problem. Everyone's treating the symptom. Nobody's treating the source. Today, we're going to break this down into 3 parts. First, what the pineal gland actually does and why calcification is silently destroying your health from the inside out. Second, the science behind sound, frequency, and why vibration is the most underrated biological tool you've never been taught to use. And third, the exact vibrating hum technique you can use tonight, the one that acts like a sonic reset button for your pineal gland. That's the part I promised you. It's coming. Don't skip ahead. By the end of this video, you're not just going to understand your pineal gland, you're going to have a protocol to wake it back up. Most people think the pineal gland is some kind of mystical third eye concept from ancient religion and that modern science has nothing to do with it. That's wrong in both directions. Yes, ancient traditions from Egypt, India, and Tibet referenced a spiritual center in the middle of the skull, but those weren't metaphors, they were observations, because the pineal gland is literally photosensitive. It contains cells nearly identical to the retina of your eye. Your brain has a hidden eye inside it, and it's been covered up.
Here's where modern medicine gets it wrong. They treat the pineal gland like it only does one thing: produce melatonin at night so you can sleep. End of story. That's like saying a symphony orchestra is just for background music. The pineal gland also produces DMT, dimethyltryptamine, the most powerful naturally occurring psychedelic compound on Earth. It's present at birth. It surges during near-death experiences. And in healthy, active pineal glands, it influences your perception, your creativity, your sense of meaning, your gut feelings, your emotional clarity. But when your pineal gland calcifies, when it hardens, all of that goes quiet. It's like trying to receive a radio signal through a lead wall. The signal exists, your gland just can't receive it anymore. And the thing calcifying it? Fluoride. It accumulates in the pineal gland at higher concentrations than anywhere else in your body. Then there's artificial blue light at night, chronic stress, cortisol flooding your system, and a diet loaded with phosphates and calcium additives. Every single day, most people are quietly mineralizing the most sensitive receiver in their skull. Now here's where it gets interesting. Every cell in your body vibrates. Every organ has a resonant frequency. Your bones, your tissue, your blood, they all oscillate. And the pineal gland, it sits suspended in cerebrospinal fluid, right in the geometric center of your brain. It's uniquely positioned to receive vibration. This isn't spiritual speculation. This is physics. When you produce a low, sustained humming sound, especially in the frequency range of 40 to 528 Hz, the vibration travels directly through your skull, through the fluid surrounding your brain, and physically resonates with the pineal gland's tissue.
Studies on 40 Hz gamma wave stimulation, originally developed at MIT, have shown that specific vibrational frequencies can clear amyloid plaque from brain tissue, stimulate glial cells, and increase cerebrospinal fluid circulation. That last one is critical because calcification in the pineal gland is worsened by stagnant fluid. Vibration moves fluid. Moving fluid clears deposits. It's not magic, it's hydrodynamics. Tibetan monks have known this for centuries. They call it toning. They'd sustain a single note during meditation, a deep, resonant hum, not because it felt spiritual, but because it worked. Monks who practiced this regularly showed markedly different sleep patterns, elevated melatonin output, and what researchers described as unusual emotional stability. Now think about that. Ancient people found a free, natural tool that modern neuroscience is only now beginning to explain. Does this sound familiar? Have you ever hummed under your breath when you were stressed without thinking about it? Let me know in the comments, because that instinct, that's your nervous system self-medicating with exactly the tool we're about to talk about.
Here's the actual technique. This is what you came for. It's called the Aumkar Reset, though you don't have to call it anything. What matters is the mechanics. Step 1. The setup. Do this either lying down or sitting with your spine straight. The position matters because you need the vibration to travel upward through your vertebrae to the base of your skull. Do it in a quiet room, not during work, not with background noise. This is a focused, intentional practice. Close your eyes. Take 3 slow breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. You're not meditating yet. You're just dropping your heart rate so your nervous system shifts out of sympathetic overdrive. You cannot reach your pineal gland when you're in fight or flight. That's biological fact. Step 2. The hum. Take a deep breath in. Then, as you exhale, produce a continuous low, resonant hum. Think of it as the sound but dropped as deep in your chest and throat as you can comfortably go. You're not trying to sing, you're not trying to meditate, you're creating a physical vibration. The target frequency is somewhere between a low and a sustained If you can feel your skull vibrating, not just your throat, you're in the right range. Hold the hum for the full exhale. Then breathe in, hum again. Do this for 5 minutes minimum. 10 is better. Step 3. The intention point. And this is the one almost everyone skips. This is what I promised you at the beginning, the thing that separates a random hum from a pineal activation practice. As you hum, concentrate your awareness on the center of your brain, roughly the point equidistant between your ears and between your forehead and the back of your skull. You don't need to visualize anything, you just need to direct your attention there. Why does this matter? Because attention drives blood flow. This is called neurovascular coupling. Where you focus, your brain increases blood perfusion. When you direct attention to the pineal region while simultaneously vibrating the surrounding cerebrospinal fluid, you are creating both the physical resonance and the increased circulation needed to begin softening and flushing calcified deposits. That's the combination. That's the unlock. Vibration without attention is just noise. Attention without vibration is just imagination. Together, they create a physiological event. Most people who hum during meditation never use the intention anchor. They wonder why it doesn't seem to do much. Now you know the missing piece. Remember at the start I told you about the one thing that could completely change your results with this practice? Here it is, timing. You need to do the Aumkar Reset within 30 minutes of the sun going down. Not at 11 p.m. before bed, not during your lunch break, right at dusk. Here's why. The pineal gland begins its melatonin production cycle triggered by the absence of light. The window between dim light and full darkness is when the gland is most biologically active, most receptive, most open to influence. Doing the vibrating hum technique during this exact window is like sending a message when the phone lines are open. You're not fighting the system, you're working with it. People who practice this at dusk consistently for 2 weeks report falling asleep faster, waking with greater clarity, more vivid and coherent dreams, reduced anxiety at baseline, and a notable increase in what I'd call perceptual sharpness, a feeling of being more switched on during the day. Is that the DMT effect? Maybe. Is it simply better melatonin output leading to better deep sleep? Probably partly that too. Does it matter what we call it if it's working? No. What I can tell you is this: when I added the dusk timing to an already consistent humming practice, the shift I experienced in sleep quality happened within 4 days. Not 4 months, 4 days. That's fast and free. So let's be clear about what you're walking away with. You're stopping the passive assumption that your brain's most sensitive gland is fine, just because nobody's told you otherwise. You're starting a 5 to 10 minute daily hum practice, deep, resonant, directed to the center of your skull during the dusk window each evening. And you are absolutely anchoring it with the intention point. That's the non-negotiable. Without the attention anchor, you're missing the mechanism. This takes $0, 0 equipment, 0 supplements. It requires only your breath, your voice, and your focus. The pineal gland is not mystical. It's not pseudoscience. It's a real physical structure that has been chronically neglected, chronically calcified, and chronically underestimated in modern health culture. And the tool to begin addressing that has been sitting in your own throat this entire time. There's a reason silence is so uncomfortable for most people today. There's a reason the idea of sitting still and humming for 5 minutes feels almost absurd. That resistance, that discomfort, that's the calcification talking. That's the static where the signal used to be. Break through it once, just once. See what's on the other side.